In this Frontier Conference matchup on Friday night in the Armory, Dakota State is currently ranked number 4 in the nation with an impressive 12-3 record, although they are coming off of 2 straight losses versus Carroll and Rocky Mountain. On the other end, BSC is 2-11, 2-7 in the conference, coming off a big-time win against Montana Western last week in the Armory on Saturday. Now, the Mystics have been a much different team at home than on the road. They are 2-2 at home, playing some of the top teams in the nation very competitively. So they're looking to keep that momentum going as they have been playing quite well in this building. I'm Isaiah Johnson, and Kyler Olson is going to be on the play-by-play for you tonight.
Yes, sir. As you mentioned, number 4 team in the country comes into the Armory tonight. A ranked team already came into the Armory against these Mystics and went home with a loss. So hopefully that trend continues for the Mystics tonight. Again, Dakota State loves playing at home. Their 2 losses came on the road, but two tough teams. They are brand new to the Frontier Conference, just like the Mystics are. They 25-5 overall last season, won their conference regular season title for the 5th straight year, and also won their conference tournament title on their way out of the conference. And again, despite changing conferences, they have not skipped a beat whatsoever, have a lot of production back on this team. Tabor Teal, I'm sure we'll say your name plenty tonight. North Star Player of the Year last season, averages 15 a game for this Dakota State team.
For tonight's women's basketball matchup, featuring the visitors on the scoreboard, the number 4 Dakota State University Trojans, and the home team on the scoreboard, your Bismarck State College Mystics. On behalf of the president of Bismarck State College, Dan Leingang, and the rest of the Bismarck State College family, we would like to welcome you to tonight's basketball game. Bismarck State College welcomes all student athletes, officials, and spectators to tonight's contest. As a member of the NAIA and the Frontier Conference, we are committed to the true spirit of competition and being champions of character demonstrated through 5 core character values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. We ask everyone in attendance today to abide by these values and create a positive environment in which our student athletes may compete, our officials may work, and you, the spectators, may enjoy. Officials for today's game are Brady Weber, Spencer Halverson, and Scott Whitlock. At this time, we would ask everyone please rise. Gentlemen, to remove their hats for the playing of our national anthem. At this time, we'd like to introduce the starting lineups. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Dakota State Trojans. A 5'5" junior guard from Sibley, Iowa, number 1, Bria Wasmund. A 5'6" senior guard from Buffalo, Minnesota, number 2, Brooke Gunderson. A 5'4" junior guard from Morphettsville, South Australia, number 5, Caitlin Dyer. A 5'11" senior forward from Colton, South Dakota, number 11, Tabor Teal. And a 5'7" junior guard from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, number 30, Sierra Watkins. Head coach for the Trojans is David Moe, assisted by Danny Frisbee Griffin, Jacob Strand, and Carson Schmidt. All right, Mystic fans, get on your feet, because it's time to meet and greet your Bismarck State College Mystics. A 5'4" junior guard from Mandan, North Dakota, number 1, Piper Harris. A 5'10" sophomore guard from Bismarck, North Dakota, number 15, Aaliyah McPherson. A 5'10" freshman forward from Willow City, North Dakota, number 20, Ashley Martyrdom. A 5'7" senior guard from Mandan, North Dakota, number 23, Kennedy Stormer. And a 5'10" junior forward from Spirit Lake, North Dakota, number 25, Eliana Lawrence. Head coach for Mystics is Jason Harris, assisted by Courtney Olson. Mystics would like to thank Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for providing sports medicine coverage for tonight's game. With us is athletic trainer Andrew Lallam. Thank you, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Tabor Teal on the tip-off, and we are underway as Dakota State collects the tip.
Once again, number 4 team in the nation, ranked NAIA, coming into the Armory tonight. Have 3 girls averaging in the double digits for points. Again, Tabor Teal, probably a name we'll hear quite often tonight, returning Conference Player of the Year from the North Star as they enter into the Frontier Conference. Dakota State comes up empty on their first possession, and here come the Mystics.
This Dakota State team has been very impressive this year. There are only 3 losses coming against ranked teams. Only 1 loss until recently, and that loss came against Dort, who was then the number 1 team.
Nice find down low to find Tabor Teal, but unable to finish the basket. And you can already see the aggressive defense. Kind of the only way to guard Piper Harris well is to be up in her face from the get-go. As mentioned earlier, a ranked team already came into the Armory against this Mystics team and went home with the loss, but large part due to the great three-point shooting of these Mystics. As Martyrdom gets to the basket to start off the scoring tonight. And a really nice pass up ahead to Caitlin Dyer for a basket. Caitlin Dyer at 5'4", redshirt junior from Morfettville, South Australia, coming from the land down under.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of pace in this game. Both teams like to play a similar game. They love the 3-ball, and this is one of the few teams that matches just how often BSC likes to shoot the 3 this season. They've shot around 460 times, BSC around 480, and Dakota State has a bit of a higher 3-point percentage, but they'll both throw up a lot of 3s, and for the Mystics, in order to have a chance, a decent number of those need to go down.
Number 30, Sierra Watkins gets the back to the bucket. 5'7" junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. From the Mystics, we'll see what kind of 3-point looks they get. Last home games, Lawrence is able to get more into the lane, find some closer looks. Kennedy Stormer finishes at the basket and finds some contact. So we'll go to the free throw line. It's good to see the Mystics attacking the basket right away, where they're used to kind of feeling out the 3-point line for the first couple possessions, but right off the bat, getting to the bucket for some opportunities that'll also put them at the free throw line.
Absolutely. The Mystics are a smaller team than most, so they don't have a lot of size to compete in the middle. So if they can drive and have some success, then that can bode well for them moving forward, especially opening up the perimeter where they want to be shooting from.
And Tabor Teal hits from 3. We've already seen her in 3 different spots on the court offensively. She's posted up once, and now she's hit from 3, so you can see her versatility as an offensive player. And kind of a rare sight to see, Aaliyah McPherson at the basket. Usually hitting from a few feet behind the 3. And Tabor Teal once again hits. Some full court press from Dakota State here, which is a pretty common theme to see against these Mystics, as they do like to shoot from long range. Lawrence from 3, unable to connect. And here comes once again this fast-paced Dakota State team. Based on their record, it looks like not a whole lot of teams have been able to keep up with them defensively. A nice deflection and steal from Aaliyah McPherson. And she's able to get to the basket, but not finish on the fast break opportunity. You get another nice look for Dakota State, and the putback. Karstensen on the nice putback.
Whew. First time I've taken a breath in this first 3.5 minutes. Natalie Dakota checks in for the Mystics. She's a spark for them off the bench. Grabbed quite a few rebounds in their previous matchup, or in the previous game. She had 12 against Montana Western coming off the bench. Huge in retaining some possessions for the Mystics.
Kennedy Stormer, a few feet behind the long range. Hits from 3. As much as I love college football and love seeing fast-paced, this is fast-paced basketball is another thing. Holy smokes. Karstensen drags her foot a little too far, unable to get away with a sneaky travel call, and the ball go back to the Mystics.
Yeah, anytime Kennedy Stormer has any separation, she'll let it fly. Just like all these Mystics, we've seen it no matter what the time in the game. They'll just find any open shot and take it. And that's a great look from Aaliyah, who has a beautiful arcing rainbow 3.
Ooh. Just like last home games, a lot of backdoor cuts, and it's a matter of seeing the window. And Piper Harris was just a little late on a backdoor cut from Aaliyah McPherson there. Hopefully some more of those open up tonight. As a charge is called on Tabor Teal, and she is not in agreement with that. Kind of a bam-bam play there. Give us more of the shock absorbed on defense that caused that one.
Teal will check out with 1 foul. She averages 15.2 points per game and already has 6. 2 of those, or all 6 of those on 3-pointers. Dakota State coming out with a press early on, really challenging the Mystics on both ends of the floor. But we've seen this in the last few games, so there must be the scouting report to press these Mystics and see if they'll make mistakes taking the ball up into the front court.
The Mystics, as Isaiah mentioned, are not a big team. Very good shooters all around. The number 44, Angelina Chappell checks in, a 6'2" junior. So we'll see if a little bit of height and size can affect this Mystics team offensively and defensively.
That's going to be a tough matchup for Ashley Martindam down low. She did very admirably, forcing 3 shots, but that's just a lot of height. So she's going to have her hands full.
A great finish through contact for Natalie Dakota. She finds the basket along with some contact, and she'll go to the line for a 3-point play. With 4:46 left in the first quarter here, Mystics closing in on an early lead from Dakota State, trailing 14-11.
Coming out of this break, she shoots at around 62%. Doesn't get to the line a whole lot. Has only shot 13 attempts so far this season. And that and 1 opportunity is no good.
Looked like at that timeout that head coach David Moe is explaining to refs what a what good aggressive defense is without fouls. Definitely didn't agree with that last one that sent Dakota to the line.
You know, usually the coaches and the officials have different ideas concerning their own teams.
Pretty common occurrence, as the Trojans definitely have the scouting report here as they get up in Martindam's face. And the Mystics are 0 for 2 from 3 on that possession. Trojans kind of tightening up at the key. Might have been a point of emphasis in that timeout. Anyone who has any scouting report on this Mystics team just knows guard them at the three-point line and make them get to the basket.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do until they prove they can beat you inside, especially with Ashley Martindam on the bench. She's one of the best at getting penetration into the paint. If you can prevent the easy three, then it'll really handicap the Mystics' game.
Bria Wasserman got to the basket for a really nice look, and the Mystics looked a little confused defensively. Trojans remain ball possession. And Mackenzie Simmons, a 6 foot sophomore from Winona, Minnesota, hits from 3. And the Mystics starting to have some struggles with this full court press. Nothing they haven't seen before. But this Trojans team doesn't let up in any aspect of basketball games. Stormer unable to get through the weaving of defenders, but unable to finish. Another three-point attempt falls short from Caitlin Dyer. And again, fast-paced basketball game continues. Kind of some, I don't think I'd use the word sloppy, but not very comfortable on either side.
Yeah, the Mystics have been a little bit put off by some of this full court press. Just a few silly turnovers and 2 easy layups that they missed from McPherson, I believe, and just there by Kennedy Stormer after masterfully weaving through the defense. So just a few preventable mistakes, but otherwise the Mystics are hanging right with this really good Trojans team.
Another open 3, and off the front is Harper Harris. A really nice look from 3. You're gonna have to take all you can get in that department tonight. But just a little bit of contact from Piper Harris there. She kind of got the fingertips of Dyer, and Dyer will go to the line for 2.
Her first team starter.
Yeah, Dyer a little bit out of control on that drive, but does a good job of drawing that contact and getting to the line.
Caitlin Dyer, their second leading scorer behind Tabor Teal, averaging about 12 points a game. And able to hit on that one. And the Trojans will bring in 3 new, including Tabor Teal. Brooke Gunderson checks in, senior from Buffalo, Minnesota. Again, I'm sure we'll see Tabor Teal just about everywhere in this basketball court. A really nice pass up ahead. And Dakota finds a basket off a beautiful cross-the-court pass. A really nice way to break this full-court press. Tabor Teal finds a reverse layup, but unable to finish it. And again, this Mystics defense has kind of forced them into those difficult shots. Harper Harris trying to get through the lane, runs into some trouble. And once again, this fast-paced Trojans team right back at it. A nice backdoor pass from Teal. Right into the mess. It's Mackenzie Simmons. Tabor Teal trying to find some sort of a look and unable to finish. Wow. She's been forced into every difficult shot possible already. Downhauer unloads a 3, unable to hit. And this Trojans team wastes no time getting to the other side of the court. But Mystics playing some good defense. It's just the leaving to help other teammates that's been leaving some girls open as Dyer takes full advantage and hits from 3. And that penetration to the basket that the Mystics are doing a really good job collapsing, but of course that leaves other players wide open, and that's what Dakota State's taking full advantage of here.
And like I'm saying, this team just absolutely loves the 3-ball. They're shooting really well so far, 4 of 7. And if they keep connecting like this, it's going to be a rough time for the Mystics. It's just another silly turnover. This full court press really causing a lot of issues.
Yeah, as great as the Mystics are just up in the face of every Trojans player, the help defense is causing other players to get a wide open look as long as the Trojans swing the ball quick enough, which they are, of course, certainly capable of. Martyrdam lets one go from 3 and is a little upset about some contact that wasn't called there. I don't disagree with her.
It looked like that wrist might have been slapped. Hard to tell from this angle, but it was an air ball, so.
I don't think Martyrdam would complain about something that never happened. So I think I agree with her. From the angle we had was a little surprising, the contact that was not issued.
Oh, nice move.
Tabor-Teal with another nice move to the basket and hits once again.
And Jason Harris wants to talk things over with his squad. Tabor-Teal absolutely fooling Martyrdam on the fake pass. And we have a brief timeout on the floor, and look, we will be right back. Martyrdam to inbound. 50 seconds remaining in the first.
Piper Harris had a few pass looks there, but again, these windows are so small and so quick. There's some contact. Martyrdam's been begging for contact as long as she can get a call out of it. So a nice shot fake and gets to the basket and gets a little hip check. And she will find herself at the free throw line. 38 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
She shoots twice as many, or not twice as many, but only less free throws than Kennedy Stormer. 41 so far in the year. She shoots at 66%.
Very, very simple shot, but effective, as you can see. She doesn't like to think about it.
Step up and go.
Let her fly. And again, seems to work out. As Ashley Martyrdam hits her 2 free throws as we dip below 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. This is the calmest we've seen this Trojans offense the whole game. Trying to use all and every bit of this shot clock. 15 seconds on the shot clock. We'll see what they decide to do offensively here. Wasman trying to get to the basket, and a great stop by Ashley Martyrdam. No foul called, and ball goes out of bounds, and the ball will go back to the Mystics. Great play defensively with 13.4 remaining here. Let's see what the Mystics can do with 10 seconds to go, and again, some physical full court press. Martyrdam gets to the basket with a tough look, unable to hit. As the shot clock and game clock wind down.
And the ball eventually comes down from the ceiling. So the Mystics will actually have an opportunity to catch and release. Stormer's open if Martyrdam can find her.
Piper Harris gets a decent look, but not enough time to let her fly. And after one quarter, the number 4 team in the country, Dakota State Trojans, coming in with a 24-15 lead as we will go to the second quarter.
Dakota State leading by 9, and the putt to win contest that's been happening at the end of every first quarter this year was actually just completed.
And people, if you want to picture what a golfer looks like, I don't think he has his golf outfit on today, but I don't think that matters. Wow.
Amazing. And he got a big round of applause from the Dakota State men's team, who are cheering probably the loudest out of anyone here, as we were enjoying it as well. What an impressive putt. Slowly rolled it in the tiniest gap, and he will be the winner of the Gate City Bank sponsored putt to win contest.
Carstensen off on the 3-pointer. And Kennedy Stormer, along with Ashley Martin, back in charge of some offense here. You know, if I would win that putt thing, I'd wonder where my prize was immediately. He kind of just walked away like, yeah, just another day.
He was super nonchalant about it. I mean, incredible.
Again, this Trojans defense adjusting to some three-point action. Eventually ends in a turnover. Piper Harris being clobbered by this defense. As we've talked about how many threes and how well the Mystics shoot from three, they are 1 of 10 from three. So, and usually 1 of 10 from three from this Mystics team means a big deficit, only down 9 so far. So we'll see if the three-point struggles continue and if the points struggles continue. But as of right now, the Mystics starting 1 of 10 from three, which is, of course, major strong suit for this offense.
Yeah, the Mystics are hanging in there. It's just the turnovers that are really getting to them. They've committed 7, but one tendency of Dakota State, despite how good they are, is to turn the ball over. They do turn it over around 14 times per game, but they do still force around 17 turnovers per game, and we're seeing why. They're in the grill of these players constantly, and you see it again.
Dakota State only 5 points off of those turnovers. So despite the 7 turnovers that the Mystics have had, not a ton of them have ended in points. I think it's a pretty clear depiction where the turnovers for the Trojans come from is they work fast offensively, which can cause all sorts of things. Can wear down a defense, but can also cause some chaos yourself. Because again, the Trojans are not allowing any space at the top of the key for anybody. Mystics are going to have to find shots themselves.
Man.
As Stormer says, I'll just shoot it from here, and hits from long range.
For Stormer, anywhere is in range.
No kidding.
She averages 21 points a game and shoots a lot of three-pointers.
Caitlin Dyer gets the bucket again. Her and Tabor Teal leading the Trojans in the points category. Probably a common sight for this Dakota State team. And Tabor Teal getting to the basket and finding herself back at the free throw line. She is everywhere. I feel like every team that's come into the Armory against this Mystics team has somebody with just an absolute motor.
Yeah, Teal shoots at a .520 field goal percentage. Just takes a lot of high percentage shots, can knock down those free throws. She shot 65. She has a 600 percentage, so not automatic from the line, but she gets a lot of her points that way as well.
She's also she shoots from everywhere. She's been nailing them
Absolutely.
from three. She's down low. She's going for the reverse layups. Anywhere you give her the ball and say, shoot it from here, she's going to take it. Which, of course, explains her 15 points a game and reigning North Star Player of the Year from last season.
Dakota State's doing a really nice job of collapsing that zone of BSC, forcing all the players inside and getting nice looks in the corner for their players who love to knock down the three.
Stormer again with a three-point look, but unable to connect. Tabor Teal is, just wondering if they get her with those steps. It's a really nice look. Nice shot fake, but ran out of space and ran out of steps. Ball back to the Mystics. You can see how versatile she is offensively. Holy smokes. She just weaves through players, and it's like the defense just stops for a moment. There's the Trojans full court press. Once again paying its dues. Head coach Jason Harris pretty frustrated about the current struggles. The Mystics have either had every answer they've needed or have struggled mightily to get through this full court press. The Trojans keep posing. And Tabor Teal just beautiful footwork, super uncomfortable shot, and somehow finds the net.
The problem for these Mystics is Kennedy Stormer is by far their most aggressive player in ball handling, getting to the rim, but they like to swing it around a lot, pass around the perimeter. But Dakota State's really been keeping such a tight defense that it's really keeping them out of their comfort zone.
To say the second Downhauer got hold of that ball, my head's going, shoot it, shoot it. That's the only look you're going to get on this possession.
Some of the only open looks they've had are breaking that press and finding someone who got lost in the defense.
And if those are the only open looks the Mystics are going to get tonight, I'm sure the Trojans' defense is totally fine with that. Again, considering the Mystics are shooting 2 of 13 from three-point range to start this game. And despite this lockdown three-point defense, they still have Angelina down there waiting for anybody daring enough to go to the basket.
That's a huge make for the Mystics. That was open by no means. Harper Harris just catch and shoot, buries it. Absolutely massive, getting the Mystics back to within double digits, or not.
And just when things look up for a moment, the Trojans are back. Madeline Hansen from 3. Freshman from Renner, South Dakota. And as you can see, live action, they're giving Kennedy Stormer absolutely nothing. She's 4 feet behind the line, trying to get a sneaky screen to open up a 3, and the Trojans are not fooled by that idea. And this pass it in from the corner, also not a great spot for the Mystics to be. Piper Harris, of course, has no issue. Kennedy with a nice drive and kick out. Piper Harris from 3 and hits another big 3 for the Mystics as they cut this lead down to 8. Which, for as well as the Trojans have played to start this game, an 8-point deficit is a good sign for the Mystics, just continuing to compete.
Dakota State continuing to really put pressure on this zone. Constant passes, exactly what you're supposed to do, keeping the Mystics off balance. Harris is furious at that call, thinking it should be Mystics ball.
Just so many bodies down low. It's a question mark of who did the ball hit last. And the crowd not agreeing with it either.
Nice
Here
move.
comes Caitlin Dyer. Again, Mystics force her to a very low percentage shot, and she's unable to finish it. So here again comes the Trojans defense. Another nice kick out pass. And a foul down low. Angelina Chappell. Apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. Wasn't really an aggressive move down low. There's just so many people clogged up down low that contact creates chaos. And that's kind of where the contact foul comes in. Ball inbounded. McPherson from 3, and another good sight for Mystics fans as Aaliyah hits from 3 again.
This crowd is into it now. 3 straight threes from the Mystics, starting to find their rhythm, and this is what they need. They've been hanging around for long enough. Now can the D hold, as this offense is not letting up.
A nice turnaround jumper. The Trojans have had so many nice looks, but they've surprisingly not been able to finish a lot of looks at the basket. Mystics forcing a lot of kind of discomfort and off-balance shots, and the Trojans have, unless their name is Tabor Teal, have struggled to connect on some of these turnaround jumpers that they've been forced into. So another kudos to this Mystics defense that just keeps competing against this high-powered offense, as the Mystics only down 5 here as we approach 4.5 in the second quarter.
Yeah, Tabor Teal at 11 points and Caitlin Dyer at 9. Beyond that, no player beyond 3. So those two, Teal and Dyer, have been the most effective on offense for Dakota State. On the other end, a little bit of balance for the Mystics. Kennedy Stormer, of course, at 8. And McPherson right behind at 5, but everyone else kind of chipping in big scenarios, keeping them straight. So David Moe calling that timeout. He's a very accomplished coach in this league, the 3rd winningest coach in Dakota State program history with 169 wins. Also the highest winning percentage at this program with a .655. percentage. And of course, he was the NSAA Coach of the Year for 6 straight years before moving to the Frontier Conference. So very accomplished coach in David Moe.
You know you have a good program when you win the conference title 5 years in a row, and your departing gift is winning the conference title. And statistically, they're phenomenal and almost impossible to beat at home. So luckily, the Mystics get them in the Armory tonight.
Absolutely. The Mystics have played so many teams tough in the Armory. Rocky Mountain they beat, who was ranked at the time, still are ranked, I do believe. Lost to Carroll the very next day by only 3, and most recently beat Montana Western. The only game that wasn't close here was against Montana Tech, one of the premier teams in the nation.
Aaliyah from way downtown. That was launched. Great hit from Aaliyah McPherson, the Legacy Sabre product. We'll see what the Trojans have planned offensively, and an offensive foul. So after a massive bucket from the Mystics, they get the defensive stop that they were looking for as we dip below 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And the Mystics with a chance to tie, maybe even take the lead here. So despite this fast-paced Trojans team, the turnover and able to finish. Again, several turnovers from this Mystics team tonight, but the Trojans haven't necessarily been able to capitalize. Obviously, we're able to there, but Mystics with 11 turnovers so far. But turnovers, points off turnovers, only 9 for the Trojans thus far. And this back and forth game continues. Trojans trying to find something. The Mystics have kind of gone away from this collapse at the basket because it's been leaving a lot of other players open. But good defense nonetheless, as Tabor Teal with a nice dump off. And Gunderson able to finish on that one. Again, the Mystics, some adjustments defensively. They've gone away from the triple team at the basket, which has obviously helped them in recent minutes, as Stormer, the nice finish at the basket.
Yeah, that play all starts with Natalie Dakota breaking the press and having a really nice touch pass around the defender. Kennedy Stormer will take that soft floater any day.
Tabor Teal with another display of great footwork. Again, that girl can shoot from anywhere. This Trojans press continues to give the Mystics some headaches. As I said, they've either had the exact answer they needed or it's been a massive struggle. You can see where this successful Trojans team does their thing. A nice pass ahead from Aaliyah McPherson. But Wasman there to knock the ball out of bounds. As we approach 2 minutes remaining in this first half of basketball. Mystics down 6. And just when Stormer is wide open, Mackenzie Simmons, the interception, and takes it back for 2. And Coach Jason Harris not happy with what he's seeing. Timeout Mystics with just about 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Mystics down 8.
Going against this press, they pulled back to within 2, but ever since Dakota State's just not been able to miss, forcing turnovers and getting easy conversions on the other end.
And with that full court press will come quite a few contact, kind of reach in ticky-tack fouls, which will of course benefit the Mystics, and will send Downhauer to the line for some free throws.
Downhauer doesn't get to the line all that much. She's a 75% free throw shooter though. Smooth stroke. It lends itself very well to three-point shooting.
Trojans leading the foul column. It's a different number on the scoreboard. Oh, never mind. I was looking at the scoreboard and I'm like, how do we only have 1 foul? It's because we have 11.
I see.
So scratch every turnover thing I've talked about the last 10 seconds. I was very impressed that the Mystics only had 1 foul in the first half.
It would be in the quarter, I do believe. And the Mystics finally get a steal of their own. Nice hands by Kennedy Stormer.
Kennedy Stormer immediately looking for herself to hit. Gets it to Lawrence. And Lawrence nails a 3-pointer.
Lawrence not afraid to shoot. She'll step back from anywhere. Her favorite shot.
Again, some aggressive collapsing defense causing a few other players to be open, but the Trojans just rotate it really well. And it results in another Caitlin Dyer 3. As we approach 1 minute to go in this second quarter.
Dyer now in double digits with 12. And yet another turnover. Kennedy Stormer getting absolutely harassed.
Wasman gets the basket. Kennedy Stormer kind of wants to create so much, and the Trojans are taking advantage of so many difficult passes here. As we approach the 30-second mark, Tabor Teal trying to find something, and Aaliyah McPherson has other ideas. 30 seconds to go. We'll see what the Mystics decide to do, as the shot clock and play clock are practically identical here. Stormer looking for something. Finds Downhauer in the corner.
That's a
off
great
the
look.
mark. 13 seconds. As Simmons rushes down the court. 6 seconds. And a blocking foul.
Not a bad foul in that situation.
No. Sierra Watkins. Sierra Watkins, their 3rd leading scorer. The other Dakota State Trojan averaging double figures at 11.5 points a game. 4 seconds to go. As the Mystics come up with a great defensive stop. Those have kind of been the tough ones for both Mystics teams, as finishing out quarters, finishing out halves, and the Mystics able to just cause some controversy there and not even allow the Trojans to get a shot off. And that's a great way for this Mystics team to go into halftime down 8 against the number 4 team in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, this game has been one that's really been told by turnovers, as the Mystics have committed 15 already in the first half, and the Trojans have committed 10. It's just been fast-paced all around, no letting up, and so much active hands from both sides. Just the turnovers have been a huge part of this game. However, the Trojans have committed more fouls, so if we can see the Mystics start to get to the free throw line a little bit more, then they can start to get in this game more, slow it down, get more comfortable, and I'm sure Coach Harris will draw up some plays to help them break that press more efficiently. So we will be back before the 3rd quarter with some stats and highlights. With a 5-point advantage in this contest, they're fighting for first place in the Frontier Conference. Montana Tech currently leads at 8-1 in the conference. There are 4 teams, including Dakota State, with a 7-2 Frontier Conference record.
Oh, very, very zoomed in call there from the official. Amongst all the chaos, somehow that ball went over and back. I would have never noticed that.
Well, we don't have a great view of the half-court line from this desk partner.
I would have looked at it and said, that's kind of a mess. I would have never guessed the ball went over and back there.
But the Mystics will take it. Once again, hands all over the middle of the paint, forcing another turnover.
Lawrence, really good positioning. Can she finish it? Oh, tough one off the glass, rolls off the rim. Tabor Teal with a really nice defensive possession there. A kick out. Some nice ball movement from Dakota State here. Tabor Teal just creating everything she can and gets to the basket for another one. Kennedy Stormer, again, just anybody who guards her knows how aggressive she wants to be. She finds some contact there, but no call. The ball thrown away. Coach Jason Harris wondering what else needs to happen for a foul call there. I think Stormer's just kind of used to it. Not much arguing from her.
That's what the coach is for.
Yep. I can't say it. She's been visibly frustrated, but I can about imagine the frustration she's feeling tonight as they've been in her face from the beginning. Just kind of how you have to guard her. Teal operating here. Moving the ball around as Tabor Teal trying to post up down low. Martindale not having any of it. The shot clock dips to 3. Mystics with a nice defensive possession. And somehow the Trojans get points on the board, and Sierra Watkins will go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play. It's about as good of a defensive possession as you could have hoped for there.
Right. Watkins has really been involved in a lot of the plays here. She's been making things happen. Not really been aggressive about taking shots, getting it to her shot makers, but there when a play needed to be made, she was clutch, and the lefty completes the 3-point play. Huge for the Trojans.
Especially in this game that's just felt lead shrink and then grow, shrink and then grow. Plays like that can pay its dues here down the stretch. As this Trojans press is just tough to get through. As Caitlin Dyer takes full advantage of another turnover. And this lead grows to 12 with just about 2.5 to go here in the third quarter. Lawrence hits from 3. We'll see if the Mystics can get a big defensive stop here after a lot of momentum shift in the last 2 minutes.
Lawrence is on fire from the line, 4 of 5, 12 points. She's gotten better looks in the post, but all these tough looks from the perimeter, she's been making them fall.
Not a call you see too often, but a 3-second violation, which is kudos to the Mystics defense for keeping the ball stagnant there for just long enough to get the call. Again, see what the Mystics can do offensively here to continue to cut into this lead. They've been able to cut into it, just not close the gap completely. Stormer with a wide open lane. And there finds enough contact to get back to the line. The big smile on her face.
Trojans fouls number 30, Sierra Watkins. Team's third.
It's kind of a really tough angle. Like, do I go left? Do I go right? She decides to go down the middle, but finds the foul and will shoot 2.
Yeah, that time the Mystics did a good job of clearing out, of opening that paint for her, and if she has a clear lane, then it's not good news for the defenders.
Another player who doesn't waste any time at the free throw line. Be short, be simple, get it through the net. Hits on the first.
Both teams shooting the free throw at a pretty good percentage in this one. The Trojans are at 80%, as well as the Mystics, who have shot twice as many free throws so far in this contest.
Kennedy Stormer with 13. Lawrence with some big shots here in the third quarter with 12. Off the mark from 3. And here come the Mystics. Quite a few steps there, but kind of really didn't possess the ball long enough for anything to happen. And Stormer picks up a foul, just kind of shakes her head, probably a little bit frustrated. And that will send Madeline Hansen to the line.
Caitlin Dyer again getting right in the middle of that, forcing another turnover. She's been everywhere for this team, and having the presence of mind to find a teammate too and get to the line.
You know, you have these teams with the nationally ranked numbers next to their name come into the Armory, and it's usually pretty quickly you notice why. Even if it says RV, receiving votes, you can pretty quickly understand watching these great teams come in why they're feeling the success that they have been this season. This Dakota State team, both offensively, defensively, doing everything they need to. It's the Mystics turn the ball over again.
Just been a lack of ball fakes from the Mystics too, as these players flying after the ball after any sign of motion. Shot fakes or pass fakes be probably very effective in clearing up some space, but they've telegraphed a lot of the passes too, so Dakota State's been able to have a pretty good idea of where they want to go with the ball.
A wide open three from Chapel there, way off the mark. Probably not the shot she'd ever be looking for unless it's that wide open. Understandable.
Yeah, the Mystics are leaving that open.
Again, just absolute speed. The ball is everywhere, which makes it really hard to guard that. Mackenzie Simmons hits again from three.
And Dakota State's gained their largest lead of the night with 12.
Mackenzie Simmons into the double-digit points column. Tabor Teal nearing that 20 points mark. We've been talking about Tabor Teal and Dyer in the double digits. Mackenzie Simmons joins the party as we dip under a minute here in the third quarter. Trojans kind of getting a little more comfortable. Mystics came out guns a-blazing to start this third quarter, and Dakota State, as Aaliyah McPherson says, hold up with just a moment, and gets this lead back down to single digits.
Ooh, reach and foul probably not necessary, and that'll send Dakota State to the line for two. Nice job of McPherson finding the open spot on the court, and that's her shot. The Mystics back in it.
In for the Mystics, number 5, Callie Downhauer.
Leah picking up her fourth. She'll take a seat while Callie Downhauer, another massive three-point threat, comes back into the game. 42 seconds left in the third quarter. We've talked all season about this team finishing possession, finishing quarters, offensively and defensively. We'll see what the last 42.8 has in store here in the third quarter as the Trojans grow this lead back up to 11, and another turnover caused by this suffocating press. And a jump ball will keep the ball here with the Trojans.
The Mystics' turnover total has now reached 23. You can only imagine what this game would be like if they shaved a few off of that total, but Dakota State's been relentless. We've still got another quarter left to play. I can't imagine they'll change strategies now, given how effective that's been. Just so many turnovers. We're nearing 40 on the game.
Not going to win very many basketball games with that many turnovers, especially with the number 4 team in the nation coming into your house. 27 seconds, 14 on the shot clock here. It's a nice kick out pass. Lawrence there to shut down the pass down low. Can the Mystics finish here? Downhauer gets the basket, and the ball touched everything except the net.
There's an audible groan in this building.
Holy smokes. A nice shot fake with 5 to go. And another foul on a drive to the basket, and unfortunately will put the Trojans at the line with 4.7 to go, and this is what we've been talking about, is finishing out these quarters flawless. As the Trojans another opportunity to continue to grow this lead that again has shrunk and then grown, shrunk and then grown. Hits both free throws, and with 4.7, can't imagine a whole lot of things will happen here considering the success of this press so far. As Stormer gets an opportunity, and I guess I'll take my words back. Kennedy Stormer has other ideas as she finds herself a basket and cuts this lead back down to 11 as we go to the fourth quarter. Again, this Mystics team just continues to compete. As good as this Trojans team is in every aspect, they've been hitting the shots they need to, and they continue to compete. Again, as Isaiah alluded to, the turnovers have not been helpful, but we will see what this last 10 minutes has in store. As again, the Mystics, can they shrink this 11-point game down? We shall see.
The Mystics will get the ball to start the fourth quarter. Down 11. Dakota State having the upper hand in that quarter. Mystics started out with a pretty concerted run at the lead. Got it down to 2, but Dakota State's gradually taken the lead to 11, and that's why. That is the 24th turnover on the Mystics. Just not crisp with those passes.
Keep in mind this Trojans team averaging 80 points a game against just 61. So when they win, it's relatively convincing. Stick around later tonight as the men's game will take place. The Dakota State Trojan men coming in 11-3 overall, 6-3 in the conference. So another strong program this season, averaging just about 78 points a game against 60 points a game. We'll see if the men's team can continue to improve defensively against a very good Dakota State Trojans men's team.
There's a lot of similarities between these two Dak State teams. I believe they have the same record. Both lost the doubleheader in Montana, but both very strong teams. The Dakota State men's team, not ranked, but I'm pretty sure they've received some votes over the course of this season.
Really nice play defensively there from Piper Harrison. I think her left pinky toe was on the line, so.
Those unfortunate pinky toes.
Yeah. It was about as little of a shoe to be on a line I've seen in a while.
Yeah, the Mystics actually giving Dakota State a taste of their own medicine, double teaming the ball, forcing tough decisions from the ball handlers, now swinging it around. Nice move by Lawrence.
Another 3 from Lawrence, off the mark. This Trojan team certainly not letting up at all. Wasman thought about the cross-court pass. She had 2 girls open from 3. Mystics just kind of creating some problems. And a turnover will get the ball back to the Mystics. Down 11 with 9 to go here. And this press just continues to cause headaches. Sometimes there's like casual press where you can screen and I'll let you go. This one doesn't.
They don't know what casual means,
No.
this Dakota State team.
I think back to the Press Virginia, West Virginia days. That's the flashbacks I'm having watching this Trojans press constantly. The Jim Boeheim Syracuse, where they're all 6'8" and just suffocating you all game.
Oh, man. Same mentality from this team.
Kennedy Stormer will make her way back to the free throw line here. Hopefully cut into this lead again. Biggest thing down the stretch here is obviously points, but can they get some defensive stops along the way? Last week they were able to make some big shots down the stretch to finish off a massive home win. First they need to erase this lead. Plenty of time to do it. This Trojans team doesn't let up in any aspect of a basketball game. Mystics kind of going back to this help defense down low that's left a few girls open from 3. The Trojans haven't taken any of those opportunities. Tabor Teal down low with, again, some nice footwork, but some really good defense from Martindam.
Absolutely.
Creates your defensive stop you're looking for. Piper Harris trying to look for something. Beautiful pass down to Kennedy, and Stormer finds that bucket she's been looking for. Great find from Piper, great finish from Kennedy. And she will go to the line for the old-fashioned three-pointer.
That's a massive sequence, forcing that stop. Incredible defense from Ashley Martindam, and a nice fast break on the other end. But, oh, man, the free throw doesn't go down. And Stormer, who had been perfect from the line tonight, has her first miss in that area.
And again, if you blinked, the Trojans have already got the ball down court. Off the mark on a 3. We'll see what Mystics offensively can create here. Stormer from 3 off the front of the rim. And again, the speedy fast, no hesitation. And again, off the front of the rim. Mystics forcing some uncomfortable shots here. Piper Harris with a nice reverse layup, but cannot finish. Thought the roll there was going to take it to the net, but not enough momentum.
I've rarely seen as much high velocity pace just from women's basketball in general in this Frontier Conference. The Mystics, the teams they've played, both of them, both want to just push the pace as much as possible, and it is entertaining basketball.
Aaliyah from 3 and off the mark. Kind of a tough shot over the top of a defender there right at the last second. Another 3-pointer from Stormer off the front of the rim. They've had open looks right up until the last half second, and it's just enough interference to create a little bit of discomfort. Mystics trying to get the ball to a ball handler, usually Piper or Stormer. Stormer lets one go from 3. Again, off the mark, and both teams struggling from 3 the last couple of minutes here. Lawrence with some tricky footwork. Cannot finish at the basket. Throw way up ahead. Goes over the head. And we'll let the commentators and the crowd breathe for a second.
Oh, man. I feel more exhausted than the players on the court.
Can you imagine how much foam rolling needs to go on these teams after this? Holy cow.
This is amazing. And after all of that, the Mystics are taking it all the way to the other end of the floor.
Hey, football commentators who do no-huddle offenses, I much respect. Holy smokes. Oh, Dakota gets to the hoop. Again, just kind of a down the middle and not necessarily a layup shot, and can't get it to go down. And Wasman has her own answer at the other side. Officials kind of hesitation call there. And another
tough.
Mystics turnover. Wasn't any communication between the officials, but wasn't really an immediate call. Has a easy pass into Gunderson, and she hits, and here's kind of the runs we've talked about in this game. Is this lead back up to 11 with just under 6 to go. Aaliyah lets one fly again, and the 3-point struggles down the stretch continue.
Yeah, the Mystics have gone cold at just the wrong time. They've gotten plenty of good looks in order to cut into this lead, but none of them have been falling, and all of a sudden it's a 12-point lead once again.
Tabor Teal with a really nice play there, holding onto the ball just long enough for the defender to come to her, and she dumps it off right at the last moment. Obviously a very high basketball IQ in that girl. Again, you can see why this Trojans, everything is so lethal. There's no let up.
Mystics fouls number 1, Piper Harris, her second.
As Carstensen makes her way back to the line. She was very active early on in this game. Only with 4 points, but she's been defensively a massive tool. Unable to hit on the first free throw here.
I would say the Mystics just need to breathe and calm down, but I don't think either team does that, so maybe just go to the other end and chuck up some threes. That's been their game. That's how they've won their 2 big home games against Rocky Mountain and Montana Western, so I expect them to do everything they can to open up a 3-pointer for Aliana Lawrence, Kennedy Stormer, or Leah McPherson.
Again, Carstensen there hits the free throw to get to 5 points. She does have 10 rebounds, so that'll show you her massive involvement in this game. Mystics off on another basket. And here again comes this offense that has no stop in it. Carstensen again, as I talk about her low points total, gets back to the rim. Nice pass up ahead to Aaliyah. Kind of grabbed from the side as the ball goes out of bounds. Jason Harris again, letting the officials know how he feels and kind of informing him why McPherson couldn't catch that pass. Kind of tough when somebody else has one of your arms.
Yeah, pass interference on that call, I would say. Didn't get the head around.
Stormer launches from 3 and hits. So 3-point struggles. Pause for a moment as Kennedy able to hit one there. And back. Again, probably not Chapel's strong suit from the three-point line. But again, they're kind of giving her that wide open three, and I don't really blame them.
No, it's been working out. But the long bounce doesn't help anything.
And we will get a timeout. Again, this lead grows and then goes down a little bit and then grows again. So we will see what the final 4:40 to go in this game is as the Mystics trail 82-69.
The Mystics, averaging 11.7 turnovers per game, have 25.
Nice pass.
And Dakota State's been taking full advantage. Excellent ball movement out of that timeout. Drawn up by Coach Mo. And the Mystics have a hill to climb.
No, again, as obviously we can see the scoreboard as Lawrence hits a three, and Coach Harris is still wondering why that's not a foul when she's falling backward after contact. But again, as strong as this Trojans team has been all night, Dakota State 28-25 in the third quarter, 11-7 here in the fourth quarter. Mystics won the second quarter 22-21 as Chapel gets another one to foul. But Dakota State in the first quarter 24-15. So they came out guns a-blazing, and the Mystics kind of had to adjust along the way. Mystics definitely have made adjustments all through the game that have worked very well. The Dakota State Trojans start to this game having a massive impact on the full four quarters. The Trojans doing something we're not used to, slowing down offensively a bit.
Their time is on their side at this point. We've seen a lot of shot fakes from this Dakota State team. Just head fake, drive, pass, head fake, drive, and that just exhausts that zone defense. They constantly have to refill their vacated spots, and that's why they have 88 points.
Wasman with a nice turnaround. I think Coach Jason Harris looking for a travel as she kind of slid her back foot a little bit on the turnaround, but nonetheless gets one to drop. And Piper Harris finding a foul. Just under 3 to go here. Again, a big thing for this Mystics team has been being consistent and finishing games. Although down double digits right now, we'll see if they finish strong in all aspects of this game, regardless of the scoreboard. Finish the game with a little bit moving forward and into your game tomorrow night. Definitely not saying this game is not winnable the way they shoot the three, but can they finish with some consistency? Because again, this Trojans defense at the top of the key not allowing anything as the shot clock expires. Aaliyah McPherson, it's the bottom of the net as the shot clock expires, and another turnover will give the ball back to Dakota State.
After play today, the Dakota State Trojans will face the Dickinson State Blue Hawks before heading to Montana. And a homestand against Montana Tech, Montana Western, and then Bellevue. One of the top teams in the conference. That game against Bellevue could be for the #1 position in the Frontier Conference. Bellevue, of course, will be here tomorrow, who the Mystics will face next. The current top of the women's Frontier Conference leaderboard.
Downhauer from 3 and another ball that I think hit everything on the rim and backboard except went through the net. So again, a nice look, just unable to hit. As we approach the 2-minute mark here, once again, the women will be back again tomorrow night against Bellevue. The Mystics looking for something here as Martyrdom, nice kiss off the glass. A nice look down the lane for Ashley. Martyrdom, a 5'10" freshman from Willow City, North Dakota. I still don't think we found out where Willow City is on a map.
I haven't looked.
Didn't do your homework. Says the guy who also has not looked. And Tabor Teal again with some beautiful footwork. Gets the basket for another one. I believe that puts her in the 20s. Yep, Tabor Teal with 21 points now. 9 of 16 from the field, 2 of 3 from three-pointers. So you can see she's not just a great scorer, she's efficient and productive. Not only can she score, we've seen she does have 3 assists. It feels like more than that. And I think she makes her assists look really good because we've seen some nice passes from her. But I think the way defenses collapse on her to the basket provides a lot of opportunities for her teammates, and that's another spot in the stat sheet she excels with. As Hansen launches from 3, unable to hit as we dip below 1 minute to go here. Mystics down 16. McPherson from 3, and poof. Another one from Aaliyah.
We have a brief stoppage in play.
Aaliyah usually a kind of a primary 3-point shooter. She is 5 of 12 from the field tonight, 6 of 15 from the field. 16 points tonight. Can usually find her at the 3-point line. But seeing her drive to the basket a bit tonight and kind of grow her offensive game has been great to see. Kennedy Stormer leading all Mystics with 23.
You can see the men's team waiting in the hall. They will be facing off against Dakota State's men's team. Dakota State, very formidable basketball program for both men and women. The Mystics are still searching for their first win since joining the NAIA. The men are. They've put up a few close games early in the season. Their closest contest against Trinity Bible, which we covered. Very exciting game on that end. But since then, they've had struggle getting their feet beneath them. But any night could be the night for the men to get in that win column. Of course, coached by Kevin Rice, the legend around here.
As we can see, Tabor Teal, regardless of the numbers on the scoreboard and the time on the clock, that motor does not stop. She's a pretty impressive player to watch. Even if you're part of the opposing team, she's a lot of fun to watch.
Mystics fouls on number 1.
I know she's having fun, but she still has that serious look on her face. I'd have a lot of fun too if I had 23 points tonight.
I would say. Teal and Stormer each with 23, the leaders of their respective teams, and we can see why, just the juice they put in. And of course for Dakota State, the 5 assists of Bria Wasmond, not to be underestimated. She's been a really good facilitator, plus putting up 10. As we just see a lot of these guards for Dakota State make really smart decisions. They don't just loft up any 3-pointer, but look for good looks, and that patience has really paid off, especially in the 4th quarter, as the Mystics shots haven't fallen. And we still see them going after turnovers.
Unreal.
In the last 18 seconds, as this one is effectively over.
And as we talked at halftime, Tabor Teal and Caitlin Dyer are the only ones in double figures. Now Mackenzie Simmons with 11, Sierra Watkins with 11, and Wasman with 10. So as this game has grown, the ball offensively has spread the love a little bit on this Dakota State team, which again factors into the great program that they have as the clock expires. And the Trojans are going to come out on top of this one, 93-82. And we will hopefully see all of you back here for the men's game here shortly.
It was an impressive showing from the number 4 team in the nation. They might drop a few spots due to their back-to-back losses, but it's always good to see the Mystics putting up a fight against such a high-quality program. They've played very well at home, facing the toughest competition there is in the NAIA against some of these Frontier Conference teams who are premier teams. So to see that, their start in this conference is very encouraging. They held up well, only losing by 11, getting to within 2 multiple times. This team has shown a lot of spirit, a lot of grit, and next year it'll be exciting to see just how much they can keep improving. Aliana Lawrence, an impressive night from beyond the arc, knocking down 5 3-pointers for 15 points. Is Mystics not afraid to let them fly, but Dakota State's victorious, and the men are getting ready for their game here in the Armory. Some warm-ups, and we will give you that game right after this.